Okay, so welcome to Two Dimensional Champions, Minisode number 7. This is 7. Okay. And this time we're going to be talking about NeonGenesis Impacts,
Yeah.
which is the 32nd Animator Expo short and for season 3. And yeah, so this is a heavy one. What do you think?
One might say it was impactful.
Oh, you
Oh
stole
yeah.
that.
I can come up with cheesy lines too. Um, yeah, well, I mean, do you want to talk about like the artists and all that other stuff? Just like the director stuff?
Yes. So it was written and directed by Yuhei Sakuragi, and character designer was by Asako Nishida, and the animation production was by Steven Incorporated, which is I think a company that was started by Kenji Kamiyama from Production IG, who did the Ghost in the Shell standalone complex
Oh,
series. And I think Steven, and I could have this completely wrong, but from what I remember, is it was a production company he started that was all CG and that would do like advertising and anime and stuff like that. So it's interesting that they did this. It's obviously all CG. And
gorgeous,
weirdly,
fucking gorgeous.
yeah, I
It was
really
it
liked
was
it. I
really good.
thought
I
it.
would argue that it's definitely my favorite my favorite short from this season. Um,
Mm.
and I may even like it more than Me Me Me, and I really liked Me Me Me.
Oh, holy shit! That's
Yeah,
huge. That's
yeah.
huge.
Like I
Well,
really enjoyed it. It played on like a lot of levels, and it did it all like really quickly too. Like
yeah,
they just cranked the feels up to 11 and just like poured it on you.
yeah.
Like
So what got you in
I
particular?
just all of it. Like all of the starting with like some people crying and they're like, whatever, don't worry about it, keep your shit together. And I think there was the like and then the next story, it's like these like middle school girls or high school girls or whatever, you know, and
Hmm.
and uh and it seemed what the story that it paints but doesn't tell you is that um there's an impact going on, like angels and all that other stuff. And this is the story of this little high middle, I think they're middle schoolers, right?
I
So
think
this
so. Yeah.
middle schooler band that they got together of a bunch of really close friends, and but because of this cataclysm that's going on, they're leaving. Like they're leaving the area because of the angel
Angel
attack.
attacks.
And I feel like this happened during the original Evangelion, just because of the sound effects.
Yeah, I think it happened during I think it ties into the end of 2.0, the
Oh,
second
you think
movie.
it's during the movie?
I think it's the movie series. I can't tell you
Okay,
when.
yeah. For some reason, I have the image
uh,
of like I don't remember the episode, but I think it was the first angel that Shinji fought when he went berserk. Because
oh
just
yeah,
the sounds,
yeah.
and I think their crosses, wasn't that the one that shot the crosses?
So that one had cross explosions, and the other one that had cross explosions. Well, there's a lot of
Right.
crosses all
I
over the
mean,
place, but
angel references.
yeah, the cross explosion one that was super like that just totally wrecked Tokyo 3 was the end battle for You Cannot Advance,
Okay, from
which where it breached the geofront and Shinji went God mode and then he just killed everybody because he triggered third impact.
yeah,
So I think this girl probably got crushed
during the battle.
during the battle. Yeah. But also it could easily have been during the first episode. I mean, it's one of those
Well,
things where
there's also
it's not.
like Evangelion plays with time in a weird way,
Oh yeah,
for
yeah.
sure.
So I mean, you could fit this in, many places. So yeah, you're not wrong. I just for some reason for me it was just like, oh, end of 2.0.
Right.
I
Um.
don't know. But yeah, this really gets you. And I really love that you see um, kind of the other side of just people trying to live and in this case kids trying to live in this environment, which is they're just trying to stay together and maybe go to the same high school together or something like that.
They may even love each other.
Yeah, I mean, the romance that was a shock. I wasn't expecting
But you
that.
know, like I like how it was sort of like more sensual than sexual. You know what I'm saying? Like I like how it was like, do you want to kiss? And then there's like the nervousness of how to go about it. And then when they actually did kiss, it didn't zoom in on them kissing. So people were like, oh yeah, I kissed, and but it zoomed out and showed like the trees and then like the sunlight and like all that other stuff that's going on with that moment where you can't help but be like, you know. Uh,
Well, you really believe that that it's
Turn the
well,
feels up to
it's a
11. Like you can't help but have a little bit of
yeah,
feels for these
you
people.
feel the
Yeah,
feels. Yeah, and then yeah, and I was just taken aback by that because I just thought it was they were just buddies or something. It was already sad enough because they leave one by
right.
one, and the last girl is left, and she fucking gets
And does it sort of show them leaving one by one in the music video? Is that how they did
uh
it? I'm trying to remember.
well, so the brown haired girl leaves at the beginning,
Right. She's
and then
recording it. Right. Wait.
she
There's someone who was doing like the recording. I thought the person who was doing the recording left.
yeah, I think that was her, and then the music video was what they were posting at I think at the beginning, and maybe like they posted their last video, so I kind of felt like that was their last.
Right, and they were like, "Don't cry," and it was like the two people that were staying behind were crying, and then they were
Yeah,
the ones that kissed, and then the other one was like, "You know, my parents are telling me I have to leave next week," and she's like, "Well, you know, like when your parents say something like that, you know, like what can you do?" But you know, after
yeah,
all this, let's go to school together, or something like hoping that they're gonna have a normal life, and you as a viewer know chances aren't good.
no, well, yeah, and that's the saddest part is where she's like, "Oh, I didn't even think about that. We could try to go to the same high
Right, and
school,
we
and
could
that
get the band
we could
back
all stay in the
together.
dorm." Yeah, that'll be great. And she gets so excited. It's like, let's get real meat from the butchers
Right.
tonight. And then they go. It feels pretty upbeat. You almost forget, and you go into the music video portion, which is cute. And there's a little cute riff on the opening credit for the TV show. Um, and then the girl gets caught in
Yeah, it just has
the
her
attack.
sitting by herself, curled up, and you just hear the battle going on around her. And then when the credits end, it just turns to black and you hear a crash.
And it reminded me of actually, and this might have been what reminded me that it was that it took place for some reason in the second film was, and it happened in the TV show too, actually. So this isn't an argument either way, really. But Shinji was in the same position when he was ordered to evacuate when he had given up piloting the Ava for the second
Right.
time, and the same angel. Both movies happens in both the series and the show, I should say. And so her position is similar. And I was she in the train still, or did it look like she was in the
Looks like she was in a
shelter?
shelter.
Okay, yeah. So it's an interesting, I felt like it was an interesting display of how, like, even in the shelter Shinji was in, it still got wrecked by Asuka's, or by Unit 2, because it's piloted by a different person in the second movie, by Unit Two's head. So even the shelter he's in gets, and a lot of people die, but he survives, and so I
Maybe
don't
she
know.
was
It's an
there.
interesting. Maybe she
You
was there.
rewatch the
Yeah, maybe
movie
she.
and have a fucking mind blown.
Yeah, be like, oh god, it was all
Yeah.
planned. Yeah. So, again, you can fit it in anywhere, but it was definitely interesting to see how, this was not the main character. She doesn't pilot an Ava. She, it's even a more sad situation because she doesn't know what's going on. Like, is it better to, like, know the full horror of what, of what this
Well,
world
I think she's got a
has going
clue.
on
I
in it?
mean,
Or she's got a
cause
clue. Yeah, well, I mean,
it's on the news and people are evacuating.
yeah, but I mean, Shinji was in the middle of it, and you see the shit he went through, and so that made me think of like which would be worse, being in such an active role with it,
Or being a
or kind of be
bystander.
stuck. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, this was a real surprisingly tough. Yeah, and you can't be fooled by its cutesy shell.
Right.
because it has this. It's like a weird candy that's like really sweet and then super super
Super
sour in the
sour,
middle.
and you just can't stop crying.
Yeah,
You have no allergic to it, and then you die. You know, it's like one of those
yeah, yeah.
candies.
Because for me, for a little while, I was like, is this really Ava? Really? Like, it is sad, but and then the end hit, and I was like, oh yeah, right, okay, yeah, this fits
Sure.
in. This goes in, and this is the third Ava short that they've done in the Animator Expo, and definitely the one that definitely gets you the
Yeah.
feels the most. So yeah, this was a rough
It's
one, but
really good. Really check it out.
really, yeah, I think by far top three for the
And
entire
again, you
expo.
can find that at animatorexpo.com.
And it's season three. I don't think the other two are available right now. But also, if you haven't seen Ava, I don't think it'll work
I
for
would
you.
say watch it anyway. You like
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
think
yeah, I
so?
would say even if you I would say even if you hadn't seen it, it would still be impactful because it's done so well. The message is conveyed. Like you don't know necessarily what the impact is. You don't know necessarily about
Yeah,
the fighting, but you can tell like it could just as easily be like a war zone that's going on, or like the
yeah.
impact of
Actually,
meteors, and it would still apply, and you'd still get the mission or the message rather.
yeah. Actually, it might even be scarier if you don't have any idea where this shit comes
Right.
from. I can't separate it like that, but I mean, I guess. So yeah, so that's what we thought. This is two thumbs up. This is
Yeah, definitely
really
super
good
good.
stuff. Check it out, and thanks
Yeah,
for
take
listening.
care.